Powered by the Montana Television Network. This is the 530 News on Q2, Montana's news leader.
Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Russ Riesinger. Janelle will join us a little later from Rocky Mountain College. But first, the man accused of fatally shooting one person and wounding 3 others, including a Montana Highway Patrol trooper, faced a judge today. Jonathan Birch is facing 1 count of murder for the death of Shelley Hayes and 3 counts of attempted murder in the shootings of Trooper Wade Palmer, Casey Blanchard, and his mother, Julie Blanchard. The largest courtroom in the Missoula County Courthouse was filled to capacity with law enforcement on hand to support their brother and colleague and witness Jonathan Birch's first court appearance. The 28-year-old suspect from Arlee was arrested following last week's shooting spree. Following a shots fired call, law enforcement arrived on scene to find Julie and Casey Blanchard shot but conscious. Another victim, Shelley Hayes, had also been shot and was already dead. Birch fled the scene and eventually made his way outside of the Evero bar where, according to court documents, he shot Trooper Wade Palmer. Well, Jonathan Birch's bond has been set at $2 million and he remains in the Missoula County Detention Center tonight. His officers keep vigil outside of Trooper Wade Palmer's hospital room in Utah. More officers flooded the Missoula courtroom in his support this afternoon. It's a display that has been ever since that tragic day, officers showing support for one of their own. From Palmer's transport to Utah to helping his family cope with his battle, a strong support system has been in place the whole way. Trooper Palmer's wife, Lindsay Palmer, issuing this statement this morning, saying in part, "I want to extend my sincere gratitude to Montana and Utah for all of their support and all of the caring people throughout the nation that have offered prayers and positive messages. Knowing that our communities are coming together at this time of need is a great comfort. It gives us the ability to focus our attention on Wade and his family, which is the most important thing at this time." A popular and sometimes controversial Billings radio host, Big J of the morning radio show on Hot 101.9 FM, appeared in municipal court today after being arrested over the weekend. Jason Harris pleading not guilty to misdemeanor partner or family member assault, a first offense. Q2's Zoe Zandor has been following the story and has more details on the events that occurred. Zoe?
Yeah, Russ, according to court documents at around 10 p.m. Saturday, the Billings Police Department responded to a call about a disturbance in a vehicle in the area of 2nd Avenue North and Division Street. Now, the call saying a male identified as Jason Harris and a woman whose name was not released were fighting each other in a car. When officers arrived at the scene, Harris and the woman both each had bruising and swelling on their right cheek and eyebrow. According to officials, Harris and the woman both stated they were arguing at dinner and continued the argument while driving in Harris's vehicle, where they both said they were hitting and punching each other. The woman told officers that she was fearful for her life. Based on the woman's demeanor, officers determined Harris was the primary aggressor. Now, Yellowstone County jail records indicate that Harris has been released from the facility. During his court appearance, his bond was set at $500. Harris is set to appear back in court on April 23rd. Russ?
All right, thank you, Zoe. Billings West End retailer will soon be closing its doors. Shopko announcing it is closing its remaining 120 department stores, including the store here in Billings and other locations in eastern Montana and northern Wyoming. The Green Bay, Wisconsin-based retailer filed for bankruptcy on June 16th, started closing stores and pharmacies in December of 2018. Shopko will liquidate its assets and close all of its remaining locations by June, according to a document filed Monday in a U.S. bankruptcy court. Shopko's CEO said in a press release, "This is not the outcome that we'd hoped for when we started our restructuring efforts." Now, there's not yet an official closing date for the store here in Billings. A majority of the State Public Service Commission threw its support behind a controversial bill today designed to help Northwestern Energy buy an additional part of the Colstrip 4 power plant in southeast Montana. That vote went against the recommendation of the PSC staff, which said the bill undermines fundamental principles of utility regulation. MTN's Mike Dennison has more.
Senate Bill 331 says if Northwestern Energy buys an additional 150 megawatts of the Colstrip plant, it gets to pass on millions of dollars in plant-related costs to ratepayers without PSC review. On Monday, the PSC, which regulates utilities, voted 3-1 to support the bill. Commission Chairman Brad Johnson of East Helena said Montana customers of Northwestern will need that power from the Colstrip plant in the future. He said he doesn't want to risk having the plant closed prematurely because of anti-coal political forces, and that Senate Bill 331's guarantees for the company will help prevent that from happening.
To leave that unit subject to those forces and that kind of premature closure poses a much greater risk to the ratepayers than does the acquisition by Northwestern of this additional 150 megawatts.
Commissioners Bob Lake of Hamilton and Randy Pinocchi of Sun River also voted to support the bill. But Commissioner Roger Koopman of Bozeman voted to oppose it and said supporting it is a huge mistake. He said the bill allows Northwestern to charge ratepayers for certain costs of Colstrip 4 even if it's closed early, and therefore it could encourage that early closure. Koopman also said it sets a terrible precedent by taking away the PSC's basic ability to review utility costs before they're put into electric customer rates.
We believe in this bill, and we don't believe in the Public Service Commission. And the legislature might as well go to work on creating something new for their liking, because this bill is a denial of what we are here to do.
While PSC staff recommended opposition to the bill, it did say Monday that the bill's sponsor, Senator Tom Richmond of Billings, may offer some amendments that could alter some of its objectionable portions. Senate Bill 331 has its first hearing on Tuesday before the Senate Energy Committee. Reporting from Helena, Mike Dennison, MTN News.
Northwestern has said it's negotiating to buy this additional portion of power from another Colstrip co-owner for only $1 because that owner wants to get out of the coal-fired power. Well, tonight, body camera images are giving us a better understanding of what a Sweetgrass County deputy was dealing with as he decided to investigate a frozen car that was abandoned at our interstate rest stop. Q2's Andrea Lutz takes us to the spot along Interstate 90 where a life was saved that bitterly cold day.
It started out as a typical day for Deputy Cody Kreiner.
So when I pulled up, I saw it was a orange Prius.
His body camera captured it all.
It just kind of was parked out here by itself.
Cars out here on this Interstate 90 rest stop are abandoned all the time.
And it was snow covered.
But something prevented him from continuing on.
I don't know if it was part of the cold or power above, I think definitely had to play in it.
Then his ordinary day on shift
started rubbing off the windows, see if I could see anybody in there.
Turned into something else.
Still not expecting to find anybody, and then eventually I saw a hand, so.
Deputy Kreiner knew time was working against them.
Wasn't getting a response, and was able to get a hammer, and then I broke the passenger window, just covered him with as much blankets as I could, tried to talk to him.
Kreiner even taking the beanie from his own head to help keep him warm.
Could have, just glanced inside and walked away from it.
Sheriff Alan Ronenberg said turns out the man was traveling from Washington State to Florida. If it hadn't been for the quick actions of his deputy, it's possible the man wouldn't have survived.
He was really close to the end of it, way too early out here.
Now with this life-saving day under his belt, there's high hopes for Kreiner.
He's got to be super trooper now.
He's just happy to make a difference.
Hopefully he's doing well and things are going good for him now, and he was able to get down to Florida, which is where he was trying to get to. So
Deputy Kreiner says that what he was doing is just part of the job, even though he really did save a life that day. And he knows that when he comes back to this rest stop along Interstate 90, that event will jog his memory. In Sweetgrass County, Andrea Lutz, MTN News.
All right, thanks, Andrea. And Deputy Kreiner was given the agency's Meritorious Service Award for saving the life of that man. The man was taken to a hospital here in Billings for care. Coming up on tonight's 5:30 News, we're going to head to Rocky Mountain College to show you how to get on the right track for the Montana Women's Run. And in sports, 10 years ago this month, Rocky's basketball team won a national title. Scott looks back as the Bears head to this year's national tourney.
You're watching MTN News with Janelle Slade and Russ Riesinger. Storm Tracker weather with Bob McGuire. And sports with Scott Breen. This is the 5:30 News on Q2, Montana's news leader.